right, we have our second presentation now from the expert group on food waste prevention. Karin Östergren. Okay, there you are. And she'll be talking about food waste prevention for global food chains. And I can just add that in the Global Food Security Conference, which is a biennial event held this year at Cornell University in New York, Karin was the chairperson of the food waste, line or the food waste day. So we're looking forward to your internationally renowned input.
Okay, my name is Karin Östergren. I'm coming from SP Food Technical Research Institute, Sweden, and my mission today is to introduce you to the topic of food waste and to introduce you to the SIANI network on food waste prevention strategies for global food chains. 2011, FAO concluded that 1/3 of all edible food grown is lost or wasted globally. That is not only unethical, it is an enormous waste of resources, an enormous waste of money. The value of the food wasted for a year corresponds to the GDP of Switzerland. Counted in greenhouse emissions, food waste comes as number 3 after the United States and China. And the water footprint corresponds to the volume of Lake Geneva. Food is wasted differently in different parts of the world. In medium and high-income countries, the food waste per capita in a year is much higher than in low-income countries. In particular, it's the consumers that are very wasteful. Looking at the different drivers, they are also different. In low-income countries, the drivers are mainly related to poor infrastructure, poor roads, or poor storage conditions, and a lack of functioning cold chain. That is different in the high-income countries and medium-income countries. There, the waste drivers are related to the consumption pattern, to our wish to have filled shelves, that we refuse to buy food that is blemished, or that we cook too much and just throw away. Looking into the primary production, we also have food waste drivers, like the quality standards, the economy, the market, where you plow down instead of harvesting because that costs less, or the technical equipment that leaves what you should harvest in the earth. And in a global food chain, putting all this together, you can have all these drivers. And that means for certain products, you could have quite large amounts of food waste. So that is why we have this expert network. This is our focus. And thinking of food waste as a subject, it is raised to one of the top priorities. It's a top priority, and it's a part of the 12th SDG goal. And the goal is, by 2030, half per capita, the global food waste in the consumer retail part of the food chain, and reduce it in the rest. And a lot of local initiatives have started all over the world, in Europe, in Sub-Sahara, China, the United States, Brazil. But they are mostly local. And there are very, very few studies focusing on the global food chains, and there are big knowledge gaps. And this is what we would like to address in a cross-disciplinary way in this expert group. And this expert group is led by me in close collaboration with Anna Rickert at WWF. And what we will look at is how to connect high and low income countries through a multi-stakeholder approach. And involved in the network is a set of very, very highly qualified scientists that will work together. And of course, this is the core, and we'll expand. And here you could see it represents technology, it represents all parts of the food chain and the different aspects of the food chain. So it's a very good start. Some of the issues we will look at that we have identified is certification systems. It has been suggested that that could be a solution. But how should such a certification look so it really is supportive for all parts in the supply chain and reduces food waste? Another topic is to look at technology. We have a very good knowledge in Sweden in technology. And how can we use that to support the farmers and the part in the developing countries to produce more safe and food that can be transported? And how should the communication look like? And what kind of communication tools are needed? And for that also we have the NGOs as a great support in our network, having the foot in the developing countries and in Sweden. These are our long arm. And we will work within our networks. In the European network, the Swedish network, of course, with the SAMA group as a core, the European network, and the global network. We will collect the good cases, and we will also identify the gaps, the needs for action in a global setting. We will summarize it in a policy brief, and we will also have a seminar besides the report. And our long-term goal is, of course, that this network will persist. It should create new relations, new projects, new innovations, and support development to a society with less food waste and a better health. And finally, I would like to invite you all, if you have ideas, please let us know. Don't hesitate, contact us with all your ideas on how to reduce food waste. Thank you very much.
You all are aware that there are special pages on our website for the expert group. So you look for the name of the expert group, and then you can contact Karin or any of the other expert groups that interest you. Are there any, since I have been traveling with you and know all about this subject, I don't really have too many more questions. But is there anyone who would like to make a question here from the floor? Ola, did you have a, no? Okay. Anybody? Yeah.
Thank you for the presentation. Actually, I have a comment, not a question, to say, in terms of reducing this waste, we have to be able to look at it from two dimensions. The first waste that I'm aware of has to do with post-harvest loss. So the losses incurred by farmers, either through destruction or fall off from when they are harvesting the food in the farms until when it gets into the shelves in the supermarkets. And then the second dimension of loss we look at is the waste between from the table to the dustbin. So either consuming or buying more food than we require, or buying or not consuming food before the best buy date. So we're looking at two problems here: changing people's mindset in terms of the quantity of food they go for to buy, and then on the post-harvest loss, which is the most critical, empowering these farmers on how best to harvest the food so that it doesn't get destroyed on the farms, or how best to store them, or how quick to transport them to the market. It's just my comment. Yeah. Thank you.
Any other comments, questions? Yeah, here. Maybe I'm faster.
Thank you. I have also one question. Actually, these issues of post-harvest losses, this is not something new. It has been going on for more than a decade now. And my question is, since you are doing your research, is it a matter of just seeing that they don't have any technology, since it has been known for so many, many years now, and nothing has been done? So one of the questions, I think, is why they haven't moved so far. Is there any research question that you could maybe think of and trying to find why is it blocked, what is missing there.
I think one of the key questions is that you have to lift the research to a system level, including also the economy and the policy, because otherwise you work in silos, and that is what you have done so far. But that is difficult. But this is the challenge we have, to really merge the questions and discuss it all across the food chain, connecting the start and the end, and also bringing in the economic parts and the policy parts.
Thank you very much. Very good. No more questions. We're going to move on to the next presentation. Thank you.